This is Raising Kings, a space where single mothers raising young black men come to heal, grow, and lead with power. We're not just raising boys, we're raising kings. Hosted by Jennifer Tolliver, a mother, mentor, and warrior in the fight for generational change. Let's get to work.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Raising Kings podcast. And it is my pleasure to welcome a woman whose story defines resilience, healing, and purpose. She's a world record-holding entrepreneur, two-time best-selling author, and the visionary founder of the three-time award-winning holistic skincare brand, Renew You Body Butters. She's known as the holistic pain and trauma warrior, and she has turned her journey of pain, motherhood, and perseverance into a blueprint for healing from the inside out. Woo, that's a mouthful. All right, so welcome, Kayshaun Brooks, y'all. It's such a blessing to have you here.
Thank you for having me. It's a blessing to be a voice for others to hear going through our paths, similar paths.
Yes, absolutely. So, okay, so your story of transforming pain into purpose is really powerful. Can you take us back, like when did you realize that healing wasn't just for you, but, you wanted to help others too?
You know what? I would say maybe in 2020. So 5 years ago is when something in me woke up. And it's because I was, at the time I was bedridden. I didn't want to be by myself. I was in a unhealthy marriage, and I had to make the decision of stay here and die or go back. We were in Nevada at the time, and the doctors couldn't do anything for me. And they was like, you gotta go back to California, where I'm originally from. And my husband, we're still legally married, didn't want to come back to California, which I thought, I'm sick. They can't find an answer. I'm thinking the whole family up and come back for my health. And that didn't happen. And God told me as I was laying on the floor, if you stay here, you're going to die. You have to leave if you want to live. So through that process of coming back to a home that was a family home, bedridden, raising my children still, and figuring out who the real Kayshaun Brooks is on her own, and wondering why I'm going through the health challenges and the chronic pain that I was in, and God answered, why not you? You are put in this, told me I was put in this position so then I can go out and be that voice to help others that are in my position. So in 2020 is when I heard those words.
Wow, that's amazing. And it's good to be able to hear God's voice so clearly.
Yes.
All right, so how did motherhood shape your resilience, and what role did your children play in your healing journey?
Oh, wow. What role did motherhood play? I would have to take it back to my mother, seeing her resiliency, her zealous spirit. While she was battling a terminal illness, she was an active heroin addict at the time. So, and had multiple mental health conditions. So, seeing that type of person have the resiliency and still in motherhood and being there, that provided me with that grit. So when I had my kids, I easily go back in reference to what I saw her do. A lot of the things she did to survive, I was able to go back and implement those, the healthy things she did
Yeah, right.
to survive as well. But when you say, what have my children done to help me along this way? um, they have been my biggest supporters, especially my two youngest ones. They were with me when their father decided to leave us alone, and they had to be homeschooled for 3 years to be my primary caregivers because I couldn't do anything by myself. So if it wasn't for my youngest two, I probably wouldn't be here right now. But as far as helping me, with my health, they're very protective over me. They know when I'm pushing more than I should. And that's because, we're growing this 3-time award winning company, and they are the reason we are here today because, they're helping me make the products, they're helping me. Um, when we go out and do these events of setting up, selling, breaking down, allowing me to rest, allowing me to recover from, different medical procedures that I have. So they are a big, vital part in my journey.
Yes, absolutely. I can feel that because my son, I always say my son, my oldest, he just turned 18, but he's been with me through everything. So he's like my rock, but I try not to put too much on him. Okay. So many moms, especially single mothers, carry silent pain, emotional pain, the physical and generational pain. So, what's one small shift that you made that helped you start healing in a sustainable way?
Being okay with being alone. I tell people my term, I'm a single married mother. I'm legally married, but I'm a single mother raising kids. And I met my husband at 17. So I went from living at my dad's house to his house. And so it was a renewing of the mind I had to go through with being alone, not having him in my ear or other folks. I needed that isolation time to discover the real Kayshaun Brooks is. Who is she outside of being a wife, outside of being a mother? Who am I as an individual? So I would want to tell those women, be okay with being alone. It's only for a season because it's basically, your seed germinating under the dirt, getting your roots strong and ready for what you are to meet in the future. So be okay with those moments of being alone to rediscover you and or redevelop into who you are meant to be at this time in your life.
Yes, absolutely. I'm 100% agreeing with you. I've been single for a long time now. Fine, but it's just you have to make sure you're ready, especially when you've been through trauma and you ended up with somebody. Because I had a similar, I don't know your whole story of your marriage, so, but I was in a similar situation. I was
Mm-hmm.
married for 10 years, um, in a marriage that was abusive, but I had to be single to figure out, what in me thought that was okay for so long, so I don't do it again. It's like I have to build myself up. So I think it's very important that you said that it's okay to be single. Be okay with that because you might not, be ready. And plus, it's not a lot out there.
It is not. I'm not even looking, but just hearing what other people are going through. I'm
Yeah.
all like, I don't miss it. I'm not rushing back into it. And
Hmm.
something that I had to get out of my own trauma because dealing with, my chronic health issues and chronic pain, when people would ask me, why haven't you actually divorced yet? Lightweight, I was kind of waiting in the beginning, like the first year or two, like, oh, as he hear, all these new different things, he's going to come running back. But
Hmm.
he has it. And because he has it, that has given me the courage, the knowledge, the motivation to move forward, with legalizing the separation and everything after that, because I can't go back to I've evolved into who I am today, the holistic pain and trauma warrior, and I can't go back to that. He hasn't changed, and what he wants is the old me, and I can't. But I was kind of I enjoy being single because I don't even know if I can get remarried to someone again to just go through all the submitting and just I like my space. But
Right. All the submitting.
I'm still open though. I'm to it. For a while, I used to think God didn't want me to be with anyone because I'm all like, who's going to want to deal with someone with the chronic issues that I have? So I had to get out that negative mindset and say, Kayshaun, if it is meant for me to be with someone else in the future, I have to develop the best me, outside of what's going on. Am I eating correctly, drinking correctly, exercising right, meditating, praying? There's a lot of me I need to work on.
Right. Yeah. We all think, and we all do. Like even those of us who are married, like and a lot of married women still feel single, but
Right?
like single mothers. So all right. So let's talk a little bit about your brand, the Renew You Body Butters. So
Yes.
you turn self care into soul care. That's so dope. So, what inspired you to start a skincare line, and how does that connect to your larger mission of helping people heal from trauma?
I'm a product of the product, and so are my children. I've always suffered with sensitive skin, my children as well, and I do have a background in nursing. So I took my background in the medical field. I've been practicing holistic wellness for almost 20 years now. And I said, I need to become the solution that I'm looking for. And I had technically back in my nursing days, I was creating products for people with like different health ailments, whether they were going through chemo, radiation, diabetic, renal failure. It was just something that was a passion for me to help others. And so in 2018, I had the opportunity to put my products in the store of a friend of mine. And she was like, you got to be a real business. You can't do this little side hustle thing. You got to be real with it. And at the time, it was only body butters that was just out there. And so hence the name Renew You Body Butters. But who knew 6 months later, I'll be getting severely injured at the prison that I was working at. That ended my medical career, and then going into this full time. But as I said before, I used to wonder why this was all happening, but it's all for a bigger cause, the bigger picture, where I felt like my career ended, or that part of me ended, but now this new me of helping out the community, helping out those who need help with chronic pain, chronic illness, and trauma. Um, that's me. That's what I've been through it for, dealing with a mother with HIV who was a heroin addict, your house as the dope house. That's a lot of trauma to deal with, and who had multiple mental health issues. I had to get through all of that. I wasn't walking, I was running through as much as I could. But um, seeing where I'm at now, I can go back and see this is why God had me go down this path so that I can be that holistic pain and trauma warrior today. And something I actually started last week, or yeah, it was no, 2 weeks ago. I got a grant from a local business in my city, and I am now hosting free monthly events. It's called the Healing Lane, from pain to peace, where I'm bringing people in the community into like a safe space. It's a meeting. We gather monthly. They get to talk about what they're going through, whether if it's pain mentally, physically, emotionally. We're there to learn from one another, to add to our toolkits. I'll be having guest speakers in, and I offer, some of my comfort relief products, whether that's supplements, elderberry syrup, pain relief oil. But I'm doing this for free. every month for the community because I'm all like, I needed me when I was going through what I'm going through. So it's just the passion that it's time.
So where can we is it online, the monthly
Oh
meetings?
no, it's in person, but
Okay.
it's in person. I might have to, as it grow, I might do something online, to get people across the United States. But
But I can understand with it being about, trauma and pain, you might not wanna have it, so open online, so and I'm
well,
all
it,
for
it
intimate
probably depends.
settings, but
Yeah, if it's like in a Zoom and
yeah,
because let the country shut down again, in this pandemic, it'll be online. But
yeah,
helping others is just a part of me now because I know what it's like to be in need and looking for that help.
yeah. So what all can the body butters do? Because you said
Oh,
a lot of different symptoms. I'm like,
yes.
dang, they got a body butter for that?
Well, so my products are all plant based, all organic. I don't use any alcohol, dyes, or artificial chemicals. So we have hair, face, and body products. My target audience is those suffering with dry skin, eczema, psoriasis, rosacea, or even acne, hyperpigmentation, dark marks, uneven skin tone, itchy scalp. So that's, my target audience to help those feel confident again in their skin, whether if that's hair, face, or on the body. But anyone can use the products because it's plant based. It's just
Right.
formulated to help those specific issues, but anyone can use the products. But yeah, if you're looking to reduce your acne on face or body, even out the skin tone, dark marks, hydrate your skin,
Yeah.
exfoliate your skin, the best products on the planet for you to use.
Right. And so what does the elderberry do? Because I know I heard you mention that, and then during
Yes.
COVID and all that, that's all it was elderberry everything. So what is that?
So elderberry works helps with boosting your immune system, but I
Okay.
add a lot of additional herbs to mine. So it's not only helping with the boosting your immune system, it's helping also reduce the inflammation in your body, reducing the pain in your body, increasing your energy. I mean, there's like 50 different things that it can help with, but my dad, who is a recovering addict as well of 30 plus years, he don't like taking nothing, not even Tylenol and ibuprofen. And so this past October was his birthday, and I'm all like, okay, what do you get someone who has everything? So I said, I'm gonna give him some elderberry syrup. Why within less than a week, he was like, hey Sean, I don't have to take my ibuprofen anymore because he had knee surgery and it's, his knee inflames and it's hard for him to walk. And he's been
Yeah.
taking the ibuprofen, 800 milligrams every
Okay.
day. And
The
now
strong
he's
one, huh?
not. Yes, right?
Right. Oh, wow. From the
Yeah.
elderberry?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, that's awesome. So it does a lot. So it's your immune system and anti-inflammatory and all that stuff, huh?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Very good. Very natural.
Okay. So check that out, y'all. But we'll put all the information down in the details. But okay, let's talk a little bit about motherhood and legacy and all that
Mhm.
stuff. All right. So you often say pain is not the end of your story; it's the beginning. So what does that mean for women listening who are still in their pain right now?
Know that your pain is for a reason. You may not understand it. And when you are in the pain, sometimes, a lot of people say it's about step by step or one day at a time. When you really in the thick of it, it's almost one breath at a time, one crawl at a time. And if that's all that you can do, be content with that. Be okay with that. It is fine. When what I've learned with pain, when it's very high, when you feel like nothing or no one can help you with it, divert your attention to something else. something that's positive, as in I woke up another day. Yes, I'm in this pain, but I woke up another day to get through this pain, to look for a solution, which is what I was doing when I thought I had cancer because of the tumors, and COVID was made me wait an extra year to get it
Oh my
removed.
God.
I had to go out and it's like, okay, well, what do I do to survive? I'm in this immense amount of pain. I'm tired of going in and out of the emergency room just to get pain meds because I'm not trying to risk getting COVID. So I had to go find all these natural, holistic ways of managing my pain. My doctors got to document this whole journey, but I didn't know it then, but who knew I was going to be hosting these free monthly workshops now where I'm teaching people to add these same tools that I utilize, that I learned about, so that they don't have to go through it. So it's okay. As long as you wake up, there's meaning and there's purpose to it. You just got to take it moment by moment, breath by breath, and keep pressing forward.
Yep, absolutely. I like that. Okay. So for mothers raising sons, especially Black mothers, how
Hmm.
can we model emotional healing for them while still managing our own?
Communication. And I'm guilty of it as well, but us mothers, especially in the African American Black community, we tell our sons, if they fall down, be quiet. I used to raise my sons along with their dad. If it's not broke or bleeding, you can't cry about it. So we teach them from a young age to hold in their emotions, and then we get mad when we're grown women and they're grown men and they don't communicate these emotions. It's because they were taught from a young age. And so now my sons are younger. I mean, older now, ranging from 17 to 24. I'm now teaching them to communicate, to be verbal. We can't read your mind. You can't read the next person's mind, and letting them know that it's okay to be emotional. When I see them bottled up emotions and them not trying to let it out, I'm subtle with it, but I keep pushing a little bit, and then I make sure that I'm there when they're ready to open up. I can't even count how many times where I'm coming at them, they won't open up, and then when I'm in the middle of something, now they want to be wide open. Now I got to stop doing what I'm doing and take the moment that they opening up to me. But by doing that, what I've even noticed with them, because I try not to speak negative about their father at all to them, but they come to me about everything. And then when I talk to their father, it's like, well, why they didn't come to me about it? Why did they come to me first? And it's like, it makes me, it's a reason why they coming to me and not coming to you. It be some things where I be like, you should be talking to your father about this, not me. But I've made them comfortable, and it's about making them comfortable to open up and not judging them when they do.
Yes, absolutely. Those safe spaces are so important,
Yes.
extremely important, especially for our boys.
Yes.
Okay. So that's good. That makes me happy to hear because that's what we're all about, raising kings. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're also a woman of faith. So how has your spiritual walk helped you move through moments of doubt or fear while building your business and healing your life?
Um, like I said, it was meant for me to be alone. It was meant for my husband to leave me alone because it allowed me to get closer to God. I've never been in tuned with God in this spiritual walk that I'm in like never before, because I didn't have anyone around me, no one giving their opinions. I didn't have no choice but to get in my word and get into my prayer closet and build this relationship, because that was the only thing that was keeping me sane was my relationship with God. So, and even to this day, although I'm a little bit better, this is a lifelong journey of what I'm dealing with. So to this, I sleep with my word on. I wake up with my word on. I'm listening to gospel music at all times, doing Bible studies. I'm in prayer, because that's what I have to draw back on or have faith in this walk because of that. Like you just read how I'm a two-time best-selling international author, three-time award-winning skincare company. I could not have planned any of this while I was bedridden in the bed, wondering how I'm gonna get this business off the ground. But by having faith and learning to not be in control of everything and just letting God be God, and seeing him do it over and over, that's what keeps giving me that knock on the on the door, or that light opening up, like let God handle it because he's been handling it. Stay
Yeah.
out of the way.
Yep. Absolutely. I like that is so true. Though. Okay. So, what does purpose look like for you now after all the things you've overcome? And how do you help other women reconnect with their own purpose?
Purpose looks for me now is like the beginning of me getting that grant to start just a free community event. That's letting me know I'm on the right path. And how I pour back into other women by being a mentor in many different spaces. With the NASDAQ Entrepreneur Center, I'm a mentor and alumni with them. So I'm helping other women business wise, but just the people who I'm around with in my community, being that listening ear and reminding myself of how, okay, what it's like to be in this position when someone is reaching out, but being the community leader that I am, that is how I'm pouring back into other women. They know that they can call me, they can text me, we can sit down, for a coffee chat, lunch, or whatever. I do volunteering a lot in the community with different nonprofits, with different assisted living facilities, or even the ones where women facilities where they're trying to get back on their feet, and be, successful in society. But I try to do it in multiple ways, writing books, speaking at conferences, you know, doing podcasts.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm so glad you came. Came to bless ours. We appreciate it. Yeah. Okay, so that's what I'm trying to get into also, because I just said I want to get offline all the time and start doing more in the streets work or just meeting the women where they're at, because I have a lot to give from my experience, and there's only so much you can do, in my opinion, from your platform. And then everybody wants you to get this many followers, and you got to do this
Yeah.
and say this, and just I'm like, "Ah." So yeah, I think that's great that you get into the
One
community.
thing that could help
Mhm.
is I don't know if you've ever thought about it, but joining your local chamber of commerce.
No, I
That
haven't.
is a
That's a good
way
idea.
that can open up opportunities because with Minds, I'm an ambassador. I'm on the Women in Business committee where we host conferences with the local nonprofits that's focusing on women and women with children. And so that's how I was able to do some really large scale workshops or activities for women. Like it was this one place called the Modesto Gospel Mission,
Okay.
and they allow women to stay in their 1 year program, and they're helping them with job readiness, interviews, all kind of stuff. In the chamber we came in, my section was to teach them about using social media and having a LinkedIn platform, and then I hosted a health and wellness segment where I had them do vision boards because I said, we've heard you. the 6 weeks. Well, I said, I want you to know I heard you the 6 weeks when you guys were talking about the different things. And I want you to put that down on this vision board, all the things that you have accomplished and what you want. And it was so beautiful because someone had brought a lot of Bible scriptures and
Mhm.
crosses and things like that. And, you know, when you're dealing with the city and stuff, I was trying not to be
Right,
too spiritual and everything, but them women ate all that stuff up when they were giving their presentations. Everyone had a cross, everyone had a Bible scripture, you know, so it was a beautiful moment. And then I taught them about self care with their skincare products. I allowed them to customize their own body oils and body scrubs and just talked about how it's important to love ourselves, even if it's just taking a bath or a shower, because sometimes when your trauma is high, when your pain is high, you can't always get to a therapist or out to a meeting.
yeah,
Sometimes all you have is your surroundings in your home. So if you can just get those couple of minutes to just show your body some love, it
yeah.
makes a big difference in your mentality.
Yes, absolutely. Excellent point. That's true. Okay. So, if you could look your younger self in the eyes, the version of you who is still in the middle of the pain, what would you tell her now?
I would tell her everything is going to be okay, and you are going to help so many people by not giving up.
That's good.
Yes, that's what I would tell her because I can't count how many times I wanted to give up, and it was just by God's grace that I didn't. But I'm glad that I didn't because I wouldn't have the support that I have and be making the changes that I am. I even felt a little convicted because I've been having people, oh my God, I'm going through the same thing. I'm so glad you were able to help me. You know, so I felt like, I could have helped so many more people, but I was being silent. Well, I don't want to say silent. I was still being developed, but
Yeah. It's still
hearing,
becoming.
yes, still becoming.
Yeah, I like that. Okay, so I'm gonna wrap it on up a little bit. It's getting late.
Okay.
Gotta get back to the kids.
Yes.
Okay. So you call yourself the holistic pain and trauma warrior. So what does that title mean to you? And what's one thing you want every woman listening to take away from your story today?
I tell people the holistic lifestyle, I didn't choose it, it chose me. You know, whether it was through multiple different health battles, but it stems back to, you know, youth, early 20s. It chose me, so I embraced it. So a lot of people like me cannot tolerate the regular Western medicine of everything. You know, there's different things from different cultures. You know, mankind has been going on for thousands of years. So before all this technology and pharmaceuticals and things like that, natural plant life or other alternative treatments worked. So that's where that comes from, and just the lifestyle, like I said, of dealing with the trauma that I dealt with a mother with two mental health issues and a heroin addict at the same time. That's a lethal combination with a lot of trauma that I had to overcome. You know,
Yeah.
I beat the odds. I defied the odds. People are like, you are not supposed to be who you are and what you are today. I did not become a statistic. So I want women to know that whatever your pain, whatever your trauma is, you don't have to become another statistic. You can reform yourself so that you are in a position to help lift someone else up.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so how can our listeners connect with you, support your wonderful work, and shop the Renew You Body Butters?
Yes, you can go to my website, which is www.renewboutter.com. So it sounds just like how it spells, renewyobodybutter.com. I'm on social media. on all platforms as Renew You Body Butter. So you can always reach out via social media and the DMs. I do respond back, or someone in my team. If you need to speak directly to me, if they will forward your message to me, email info@renewyourbodybetter.com, same as the website, just with the info in front of it. But Kayshaun Brooks on LinkedIn, Facebook, whichever one you can find me at, I will respond to you. And I'm always open to networking, collaborating, and building relationships. So if somebody out there want to collaborate, let's talk and let's see if we in alignment with one another.
Okay. That's so great. You're doing so much wonderful work, y'all. We'll make sure that all that's in the description and the
Yes.
details. Every place we can find you. So, Kayshaun, thank you so much for sharing all of your light, your strength, and your truth with us today. I feel like we still need to have time, more, more time on there, because your story is so amazing, and I really love what you're doing with the women, and helping them where they're at through the trauma, because a lot of people don't understand. Um, the depth of how much you have to heal yourself after going through things like that. And like you mentioned, just being able to take a shower, just being able to love yourself enough to wash your body is
Hmm.
really a thing. And a lot of people haven't been there and don't even understand that concept of that. So I'm really glad you out there in the field with these women and giving them so much hope, because to be able to say that I was once here and now I'm here helping other people, it's like it gives purpose, to
Yeah.
what you had to go through. So I thank you so much for that. And your journey reminds us that healing isn't a destination, it's a lifestyle. You're proof that when a woman heals, the world around her renews too. So go follow Kayshaun, y'all. Kayshaun Brooks. Check out Renew You Body Butters and keep doing your crown work, y'all. Thank you so much again for being here and sharing your story with us.
You're welcome.